Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be looking at a game called The Division, made by Ubisoft, and showing you some of the footage that I got from their beta test this last weekend. I apologize for any of the shaky footage. I had a little bit of trouble with my recording software, so it might cut in and out here and there. Unfortunately, I didn't get very much time to play the beta, but I was able to complete the storylines that they had available. I'd like to start by saying that this game looks fucking amazing, and I'm super excited to see what it looks like when it comes out. But of course, with the beta, we don't have access to everything. However, this was definitely enough to whet my appetite. It takes place in New York after some sort of biological bomb went off, leaving the city in ruins, and you're sent in to try and pick up the pieces and help get the city back together. The beta introduced you to your base, and you complete the first couple of missions to establish the base, and you can upgrade it and advance your base by doing main story and also doing some random storylines off on the side. They'll randomly show up on the map and you can just choose to do them. They give you points and then you unlock different parts to your base and upgrade it as you go along. All the combat in the game is cover based, so you can sneak into position and start taking people out from safety. Out of all the games that I've played with the cover system, this is probably my favorite. It's super easy to move from place to place, and your character will interact with the surroundings so that he'll duck behind things as he passes by them, or jump over things if they're in front of him, so it feels more like he's actually trying to avoid getting shot rather than just running from point A to point B. I think part of the reason that I like this so much is just because it doesn't break the immersion of the game. It makes you feel like your character's actually being shot at, not like he's just able to absorb all the bullets. This is also backed up by the fact that if you choose to fight outside of cover, you're definitely going to get shot at, and you're going to feel it when you're playing the game. You only have a limited number of health packs and resources when you're in a mission, so you have to use them reasonably. So if you're getting shot at, you're not fighting in cover, you're going to be running through your med packs too fast, and you'll probably end up dying. Although the game has an interactive and an interesting combat system, it does feel like it's lacking in certain areas. This may simply be due to the fact that it's in beta, but it still felt like it was missing something. I felt like it could use some sort of stealth system. Multiple times I ended up sneaking up behind an enemy who was just patrolling around, and when I tried to use some sort of melee attack to take him down, he would just turn around and punch me in the face and start shooting at me. The game had a whole detection system where you could sneak around and sneak up behind people, and if they saw you or you did something that would alert them, they would turn around and start attacking you. So this kind of seems like there should be some sort of stealth system in there, and it seemed like you couldn't even use the silence weapon to try and take people out silently. Even more so is the fact that every time you enter combat, you get a message saying that more enemies are entering the area, which makes it seem like if you had done it some other way or approached the battle some other way, that you wouldn't be getting these reinforcements coming for the enemies. The whole time that I was playing, I just felt like there really should be a stealth mechanic, and it would make it really fun, even if you ended up eventually entering combat and ending up in a firefight, whether you took a couple out silently first or not. It felt like it was something that would really make the game a little bit better. And it's not like Ubisoft has never done any sort of stealth mechanic before. It's pretty much in every game that they've made. This game also doesn't have any sort of jump or crouch. It's pretty great that you can climb over almost anything and that you jump over things and crouch behind things, but to actually be able to run and jump at any point in time is something that I really like to do. Especially when I'm traveling from point A to point B, or when I'm really bored, I'll just jump around the game for a good 10-20 minutes. It doesn't matter what I'm actually supposed to be doing. And being able to crouch kind of just adds that sort of feel that you can hide and try to sneak up while you're in a combat situation and not have to worry about snapping to cover all the time. While that is one of the game's major mechanics, it would kind of be nice to have that option to move between things without having to jump from cover to cover. While being able to crouch and jump freely isn't exactly a necessity, and it doesn't exactly take away from the combat or the experience of the game at all, it's just something that's kind of nice to have. Not having stealth doesn't really take anything away from the game either, but it feels like it would just add that much more choice to what you're doing and how you're approaching it. It's something that we see in a lot of Ubisoft's game, and it would be nice to have it here. After the second or third mission, combat starts to feel a little bit stale, and it might just be due to the fact that, again, we're in beta, so we don't have access to as many of the skills and abilities, or as much of the loot. But around this point, it does start to feel a little bit more like it's just another shooter that has a cover-based system. However, the Division does have some systems that may make combat a little bit more interesting as we go. It has a system of talents and skills that you can unlock and allows you to customize your character as you go. Only a few of the skills were available during the beta, and none of the talents were available. So I'm hoping that there's going to be a lot more options to flavor up your combat a little bit once the game's actually released. In my playthrough, I was able to use the sticky bomb, which was pretty fun to use even though it didn't feel very powerful. Multiple times I would throw the sticky bomb and make it explode next to somebody or a group of people, and it would barely damage their health. It felt like it was just bouncing off of them. There also was a riot shield that I was able to use, which I would just pull it from my back and I was forced to use a pistol with it, which isn't exactly the best feeling, but it did allow you to get a little bit closer. Again, though, the lack of any sort of melee system where you can do any sort of takedown or special move in that way made it feel like it was just a shield and that was it, and then it was limiting my access to my gun. So when I tried to go up to somebody and fight them, I just whacked them with the shield a couple of times and it did absolutely no damage. It took 4 or 5 hits in order to kill them, and it didn't feel very rewarding at all. Even when you are using a gun, you sometimes have to empty an entire clip into an enemy before they die. This results in your character carrying an absurd amount of ammo, somewhere above 400 or 500, and it makes fighting enemies a lot less interesting when you just have to empty clips into them and you're constantly finding yourself hiding and reloading. That being said, there was multiple choices for the skills that you had. You could choose between security or medical or tech, and these would give you different options like the sticky bomb, the riot shield, or you had the option to heal, which then can be used to heal you or your friends, and it just kind of changes the way you play a little bit. As you go down the skill tree, I'm sure you're going to unlock a lot more interesting and more maneuverable skills that are going to really change the way that your character plays depending on how you feel like playing. And that really is something that Ubisoft is really good for, is creating a way for you to choose how you're going to play your character. So in some games you get to choose between stealth and violence. In this game, it seems like you get to choose sort of like what role you want to play, rather than getting to choose what type of combat you want to do. Which isn't that bad. I still do wish that there was a stealth system, and I'm not going to stop saying it. Overall, the story of the game seemed like it was going to be pretty intriguing. All of the side missions would help you build your base, and it made it feel like there was actually something you were doing that was making a difference. Something that a lot of games recently I found have been lacking. So every time that you complete a mission, you get some points and you can go back to your base, you can upgrade your base, and it'll unlock some new missions as well as some new skills and talents for you to use. All of this being said, I haven't even gotten to the best part yet. There's a zone called the Dark Zone. This is a PvP zone where you can complete objectives and get a lot better loot than you would in the normal world. This is also a zone where you can kill other players and take their loot. Sounds great. You can even betray your own team and take all of the loot that you guys have gotten together for yourself. Of course, this has some dangers like them killing you and taking your part of the loot and then abandoning you in the Dark Zone to die. However, the amount of loot that you can carry from the Dark Zone is limited, so the more people you have, the more loot you can bring back. It just depends on how good at sharing you are. Once your inventory for the Dark Zone is full, you can call for an extraction, which will bring a helicopter in to pick up all of your gear and take it back to your base. However, calling in a helicopter is kind of noisy and alerts everybody in the area to your presence. So by calling in the helicopter, you're basically letting everybody in the area know that there's something worth fighting you for. While you're waiting for the extraction, you'll have to defend the point, and then once the extraction is complete, all of your gear will be safe, and you probably want to get out of there before more people show up. This can really make for some fun and interesting gameplay because you never know how many people are going to show up or how many groups are going to show up, and in the last minute of the extractions, one of your teammate could turn on you, pop you one in the head, take all of your stuff, and send it back to their base. Overall, I think my concerns about this game are pretty minor, and those considered, I think this looks like a pretty awesome and promising game. I really hope that the talent systems and the abilities help to make the combat a little bit more exciting, and I really hope that they do decide to add some sort of stealth feature to it. Of course, all of this information can only be so accurate given that this was a beta test. There was very limited information and very little that they actually allowed us to do. Most of the skills and abilities weren't even there for us to read or try to figure out what they might do. So we really don't have a full idea of what the game is going to be or what sort of experience that the game is going to create for us. Even with the areas that I felt were lacking, the game still felt very rewarding. Getting loot felt good, even if it wasn't that big of an upgrade, and being able to modify your weapons was really a nice touch. At the end here, we end up fighting a boss fight, and I don't know how much the bosses will differ because you're generally fighting against humans in this game, whereas other games would have some sort of mutant or something that you would be fighting. But there is here a way to kill him faster than just shooting him in the head a bunch of times, and it does create some interesting gameplay. All in all, I had a really fun time playing this beta, and it seems like a really good game to be playing with friends. It'll be really nice to pick it up with a couple of friends, do some of the story, head into the Dark Zone, maybe take out some other groups, maybe turn on my friends here and there and try to steal from some things. You never know what's going to happen in this game. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be picking this game up when it comes out, and I really hope Ubisoft doesn't let us down. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked the video, press the like button, subscribe for some more videos, and I really want to do some more videos like this. I really appreciate all the support, and I'm hoping that I'll get my hands on this game and more games like it so that I can really focus on doing some good content to put out for you guys. I'm going to let you guys finish watching this boss fight, and I'll play some music in the background so you guys don't get bored. Thanks so much again, and see you guys next time.